phone buzzes on the table for no real reason. No message. No alert. Just an app update finishing in the background. Evan opens the banking app out of habit. Same balance, same numbers. But the screen looks different. Buttons moved, fonts changed. Something familiar rearranged without asking. Nothing actually happened. But it feels like something did. That feeling sticks. Like walking into a grocery store where the aisles have been shifted just enough to slow things down. Everything still works. It just takes longer to find what's needed. Later that night, a video plays on autopilot. Elon Musk. Another clip about rockets, cars, and billions. The words come fast. Visionary. Genius. The timeline flies by so quickly it feels like money itself broke the speed limit. That speed never matches real life. Money in real life drags its feet. It waits, it circles. It repeats itself until patterns start showing up whether anyone wants them or not. Evan thinks back to the first steady job. The pay wasn't impressive, but it was reliable. Every 2 weeks the same number showed up, and every 2 weeks it disappeared in roughly the same order. Rent first, utilities next, gas somewhere in between, groceries scattered throughout. The money didn't vanish, it dissolved. No single charge felt dramatic, but together they always won. That's when the idea of rich fast starts to feel suspicious. Nothing in that cycle was fast. Not the earning, not the spending, definitely not the saving. Everything moved at human speed. Elon Musk's story doesn't actually break that rule, it just hides the waiting. Before the headlines, before the interviews, there were long stretches where nothing exciting happened. Companies that didn't explode, ideas that stalled, years where effort didn't turn into applause, money didn't rush in. It sat nearby watching. That part never makes the cut. Evan notices how time behaves with small things. A $5 charge here, $10 there. They barely register in the moment, but after a few weeks the total feels heavier than expected. The money didn't change. Time did. That same mechanic works upward too. Early money, when it isn't constantly interrupted, starts acting differently. It doesn't sprint. It compounds quietly, like snow piling up 1 inch at a time until the door won't open. Musk didn't wake up wealthy. Early wins bought something more valuable than cash. They bought patience, the ability to leave money alone, to let it sit in places where time could keep working without being pulled away by emergencies or bills. Most people never get that luxury. Money is needed immediately, for rent, for repairs, for convenience fees that show up when life gets busy. There's no option to wait. Everything resets every month. Evan sees this at the gas station. The pump doesn't care about timing. It clicks steadily, dollar by dollar. Stopping early saves nothing. Waiting changes nothing. The process continues until the tank is full or the card declines. Money behaves the same way. It doesn't respond to hope. It responds to structure. The story around Elon Musk skips over that structure. It jumps from struggle to success as if time was just a background detail, as if wealth showed up because of a moment instead of a pattern. But patterns are the whole thing. Evan remembers leftovers in the fridge. The first meal feels normal. The second feels efficient. By the third, the original effort finally feels worth it. Same food, same cost, different outcome because the work didn't have to restart. Wealth works like leftovers, not glamorous, just repeated use of something already done. Musk had leftovers early, not endless ones. Just enough to avoid starting over every time. Enough to let time stack results instead of resetting them. That's the quiet mechanic nobody talks about. Money grows fastest when it isn't constantly needed back. The unsettling part is realizing how little this has to do with talent, or motivation, or working harder than everyone else. It's about whether money is allowed to stay in motion long enough to change behavior. Evan checks the calendar once and notices something small. Payday moved earlier this month. 1 day. It feels like progress until the rent date stays exactly where it is. Time didn't shift evenly. It never does. That's how wealth looks from the outside. Like a jump. like a leap forward. But from the inside, it feels uneven, slow in some places, stuck in others, quietly accelerating where nobody is paying attention. Elon Musk didn't get rich fast. The story just removed the waiting, the boring years, the long stretches where nothing looked impressive. Money doesn't announce when it's working. It just keeps repeating the same behavior until one day the numbers look unreal without context. The phone locks. The screen goes dark. The app update is forgotten. But the feeling lingers. That subtle sense that money moves most when nobody is watching. And that the real difference isn't speed at all. It's whether time is allowed to stay in the room.